You rehearsed
already.
Yeah. So we're going to call this meeting of the Council of Aging to order at 10 o'clock, right on the nose. Doesn't happen often. Okay, we've welcomed our new member, Jim Benson, and he's a fellow gardener down at Wheaton Farm.
Oh, nice.
He had as much success this year with his garden as I did.
Nothing?
No,
We didn't either.
terrible. Flowers are doing great. So I guess we have programming updates. We'll swing over to Joe for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the programs that we previously highlighted are still running. I know last meeting I had introduced that we'll be bringing back Drums Live. We were able to find an instructor. That class is starting to take off, as well as our morning senior movement class on Tuesdays. We are looking to round out our schedule by adding 2 new classes with a new instructor we found on Thursdays. At this point, the entirety of the week should be booked out in the main hall, so we should have as many fitness programs as I think we can actually feasibly book, which is really cool.
What are the new classes?
We don't have titles for them yet. The instructor and I are working out the final logistics. They will be movement-based. One may be a dynamic stretching-based class, so not necessarily yoga. But again, we'll have to see what she's comfortable with and obviously check her certifications and make sure she's up to snuff.
That's great.
Yeah. On the programming side, outside of fitness, I know I had mentioned before we were launching our ukulele program. That filled in the first week that we had it posted, and we have a pretty significant wait list. So we are looking at offering a second session of it, potentially later in this year or earlier next year. Joey Sheehan, who I know you know. Welcome, Marjorie. I'll take a brief one. Okay. No worries.
Oh, excuse me. Hi, Margie, how are you? Well, thank you.
So that program is going so well. She's able to actually bring in all the instruments, which makes this program really accessible for folks. You don't have to go out and buy your own. It seems like there's a really, really good experience for everybody involved. We are launching a pair of programs with Stonehill College and the House of Possibilities, one of which is going to be a friendly bocce program on Thursdays. We saw our social bocce league in the evening get almost 10 to 12 teams. So it seems like some folks want to do that in town. So we're going to try to do it during the mid-afternoon. And we'll invite the House of Possibilities over as well. We're looking for ways that we can cooperate and involve them in some programming too.
Well, I'm on the wait list for that. I want you to know that. So
Are you?
for the previous one, yeah.
The ukulele?
Well, I'm signed up for ukulele, but I want to take bocce too.
Well, this is drop-in, so you're always
It's
going
just
to be
drop-in?
welcome. Yep. The league was sign-up based, but
Okay.
good. Awesome. That's great to hear. We are bringing back some in-house trips. We'll be launching a Patriots Hall of Fame trip in December. Hopefully there's a lot of buzz and the Patriots have a really good year, so there's a lot of excitement about the trip, as well as a SEMREC trip in mid-January. We'll provide transportation to. I imagine it'll either be driver to get down and back. Those trips are usually, however long it takes to get to Foxborough, and then SEMREC's in Mansfield and back, and then tours themselves are about 30 to 45 minutes.
What is SEMREC?
SEMREC is the Southeastern Massachusetts Emergency Response something CC. But it is essentially the Southeastern Massachusetts Emergency Response, where all the 911 calls get funneled and then they get dispatched out. So instead of doing it on a town-to-town basis, it's more regional based, and I believe it was a method for cost savings for the town, if I'm not mistaken. Tours they've given, both those tours had awesome reviews from the last time, and I know those also had wait lists. With us being able to hire a few more drivers, we're hoping we can start those back up, and hopefully there'll be a recurring type of program. We are finalizing dates. I don't have them confirmed yet for some fall and winter craft programs, one of which will be a in-house pumpkin decorating program, as well as a holiday card decorating program. Create your own card ahead of the holiday season. So those will be single-day programs we're bringing in. And then to round us out, it is already full, I'm sad to say, but also simultaneously exciting. our meditation program with our yoga instructor, Doreen. I believe it filled with 12 and has a wait list already. Again, looking to see if the second session's
I have
on
a
the...
question.
Yeah.
Who does the cards? Who's the instructor?
Her name is Leslie. She's a member of our Mahjong group. And she's done work for other Council on Agings in the past and offered to do a program for us.
Okay.
And it is relatively friendly for folks who may have not as much control with their hands. She has like a double-sided sticky tape gun, which makes it relatively accessible for folks. I did it myself, so it can't be too complicated.
I've got a whole bunch of cards. I used to do card making myself, and it's just sitting in the closet.
You should join us for that.
Or maybe donate your, yeah.
There you go.
I don't want to teach nothing.
No.
That is all I have for programming updates.
On your pumpkin decorating,
Yes.
did you get any type of response from the Lions?
They offered volunteers. They directed me. Best bet was Langwater Farm. That seems to be the case.
Okay.
So they did offer extra sets of hands if we need them. So, but they were very friendly about it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, they could have given you some money to buy pumpkins, so.
No worries. The total out-of-pocket cost for the town for the pumpkins will be, I believe, about $60. So I'm not terribly worried about
Yeah.
that cost. Langwater was very, very friendly for us.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, an update on parking.
I think this one's me as well. So at this point, I talked with Greg Swan, who's the deputy director over at the DPW. We've made progress since our last meeting. At this point, they've staked out the lines for the parking lot as we and they're in the planning process for what it would look like. My understanding is that they will try to come up with options for where we might reorganize things, how we might level it out, if we can clear out space, and they'll let us know what's possible. So we are moving in this general direction that we want to go in for that. But I definitely thank them for their hard work. I know it's been a really, really busy summer for the DPW, so very appreciative of their time.
And we go back to you, Joe. Interface, older adults and resources.
Dang, I'm the star of this one. Interface. So, have folks seen in the coordinator the advertisement for Interface? Maybe no. Okay. So Interface is a partnered program. The town entered a contract with William James College, who runs sort of like this larger program called Interface. If we were to, or if I needed to go out and try to solicit services for a mental health counselor, something to that effect, for whatever issue I might have, the wait list time would be somewhere between like a few months. With this partnership, we're able to do a rapid pairing with clinicians. It's free of charge. There is a 15-minute initial intake, but then after that, the wait time is brought down to a few weeks. I think they said as low as 14 days before you could be paired with somebody. Obviously, we're aware of the increasingly prevalent challenges that older adults have with depression and mental health. So, there's a lot of articles in AARP about it that I've taken the time to read up on. So I felt this was relevant to bring to this group. It's on almost every single town webpage. We're hoping to get this to folks who need it, and hopefully it helps make a difference. I believe the contract's good for at least a year, if not 2 years. This is something that was worked on between Easton Public Schools and then Stephanie Kantav, who was hoping to could be here and talk a little bit about it. She's very busy, the new mental health liaison for Health and Community Services. She did mention a point that she'd be happy to connect with people offline if folks had questions, but a really great service.
I know a lot about Interface. I'm an alum of William James.
Nice.
Before William James, it was Massachusetts School of Professional Psychology, but when I worked as a psychologist, I made many, many referrals through Interface, and people were very pleased with the connection that they received. So, and during COVID, a number of people reached out to me looking for referrals, and I suggested looking into William James's Interface, and at the time Easton was not a member, so they didn't have access to it. So I'm really glad.
That's good.
It's a wonderful resource.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's all confidential if anyone calls, and if someone makes a connection with the therapist and they're not pleased, sometimes it's just not a good fit. You can go back and get another referral, but it is a crisis.
Is it for free or for fee?
No, the referral is for free. The town pays for the membership for Easton residents to use it.
So clients don't pay anything.
They do once they start seeing the therapist.
They do.
But they would usually ask for people's insurance, right? And try to find a therapist. And there may be some folks who want to pay out of pocket. But if people want to pay through insurance, they will. If you are on Medicare, they will try to find a provider in the area who accepts Medicare. So yes, there is a fee for the therapy, but there isn't a fee for the referral to get to the therapist, because that's so hard at this point. So it's really, I'm a big advocate of this service.
Do they have literature on it, how it works?
I know that, I'm not sure if Easton does. I know if you go on to William James College and look at Interface, the Interface program, they will describe how the whole program works.
Thank you.
Isn't it a little tough right now to get appointments with therapists and
It's
so on?
extremely tough, and that's why this program is helpful. It's not an emergency service, so if you called and said, I'm in a crisis, they would likely say, you need to go to an emergency room. But if you're looking for a clinician, and they have, it's a school of psychology, but they have on Interface people who are social workers and licensed mental health. They're all licensed clinicians.
So they come to your house?
No, you
They
don't.
don't.
Yeah. I don't know, but they likely have clinicians who are doing, a lot of clinicians are doing work online, like Zoom. You know, you
Okay,
can
because
have-
there I know people that can't get out of the house.
That's
to-
right, and there are, since COVID, actually many therapists, and because of COVID is still alive, some
Mhm.
therapists still
Yep.
choose
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
to have virtual meetings, so that's an option for people who can't get out.
Okay, thank you.
And they will ask, it is confidential, they will look for someone who has a specialty in your area. There are some people, some clinicians who specialize in working with older folks. There are, but maybe that's not the primary issue. If the primary issue is anxiety, then it may not be the most
Right.
relevant point. But for some people, life stage is the issue, right? How do I move on if I lost a partner or something? And so they will try to find a good match.
My future daughter-in-law is getting her master's degree in senior psychology in May.
Awesome. Where is she doing that? You forget.
Someplace in Newton. She's actually doing an
That's-
internship right
That's
now
William
out of
James.
Brockton.
That's William James. William James is in Newton. It's just the, if
Small
it,
world.
yeah,
Mm.
you could ask her if she goes to one.
That's how I knew that it's trouble getting them.
That's
is
right.
From
That's
her
right.
telling me.
Yeah, good for her.
You know, that information that you shared about finding out more about William James and that interface, that should be in the coordinator, that kind of stuff, so that people, you know, sometimes people are hesitant to get
That's
involved.
why I asked.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of my friends there got problems because of our age.
Yeah, it's
Of course.
common.
Yeah, that's a really good suggestion, Chris. I'll see if we can get it in, if not the October, certainly then November. And
Maybe a
might-
link to it.
yeah, it may be
Yeah.
timely right around the holiday season too.
Yeah.
I was delighted to see that.
I'm glad.
All right. Anything more on interface?
No, hope I did it justice, and thank you,
Okay.
Marjorie, for backing me up on it.
All right. Now, under other, we have acceptance of minutes. But I think before we do that, in the minutes, we had, on the nominations for the board positions, because somebody wasn't here at the last meeting, and we were nice and did not appoint you as minute taker.
And I will share that I am no longer retired. I have accepted a position, a job, and so I am overcommitted with on a number of boards, and I'm thinking I just can't take on.
Okay.
more.
No,
So,
that's why we didn't,
I tried retirement, and now I'm trying something else.
That's okay. I could probably handle minutes for now if anybody
Yeah.
wants to volunteer at a later date.
But thank
More
you
welcome.
for
Yeah.
asking, and yeah, I would like to say yes, but I'm just too
Re-
overcommitted.
retirement is wasted on the old. When you're younger, you have more energy that you can go out and do
That's
things.
right, that's right.
When you get older, it's like,
You need your naps. I just,
well, that's why I only work part-time.
Well, I work and then I come home and
yeah.
take a nap. I'm
Yeah.
like exhausted. Yeah,
Naps used to be punishment, now it's a mini vacation.
that's right.
right, exactly.
All right, so we're gonna, now we can go for an acceptance of minutes if everybody has read them. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I accept.
Motion by Marjorie, second by
Second.
a tie. I'll let you guys duke it out to who gets it.
I don't care.
We'll give it to Jean this time. Tiebreaker. Chris, we'll give you it next time.
Oh, thank you.
I'll put that in the minutes. Chris gets
I have a question. I don't know if this is the time. Did you hear from Connor Reed about the COA sponsoring something about what's going to come up for a vote around relocating the police, fire, and DPW?
I have not. No.
Get a hold of that because we have to vote on the minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I jumped in.
Yeah. Well, I let you finish because I didn't know if it had to do with the minutes.
No,
The,
I apologize.
okay, we have a first and a second on the minutes. All in favor of accepting? Unanimous.
And I have no staff notes.
You have no staff notes, so we can go back over to Marjorie on the Connor Reed question.
So there are a couple of votes coming up in the town for the town to get approval to build and do a whole relocation of fire, police, and DPW. And Connor, the police, fire, the whole team, they're doing presentations across the
Mhm.
town to inform people. And Connor asked, I was at a meeting on Sunday, he asked for suggestions about, and I suggested that he reach out to you because I thought having a presentation here at Council on Aging would be an awesome opportunity for folks to come and hear from that same crew about that. They are wanting to inform the town, get questions, and really be prepared because it's a big ask. It's expensive. It will be an up or down vote, and well, I will just put this out there. People who are opposed will show up, but we want everyone to show up. If that.
Excuse me, what is it that they're gonna put down at Daly's Corner?
Tell me where Daly's Corner is.
Down by
Hilliard's.
Hilliard's.
On the Stonehill property. That's gonna
I-
be the fire station?
I think, so they will have at least 2 fire stations. I believe they're going to put a new fire station there. And then there will be another fire station in a complex near Shaw's, which is, I forget what it used to be a
Gill
farm.
property.
Thank you.
Which- The Gill property on Depot Street, the old pig farm.
I think that'd be a dangerous one down at Daly's Corner. I really do. You see see the traffic that goes through there and how many accidents that are in that corner.
But they'll be
Because
right
people
there.
they don't stop at the lights.
So that would be an awesome comment if we could get that I was at a meeting and it was a fabulous presentation, a great discussion, and the more people in town we can get involved in talking and asking and sharing that information, I think the vote's there are 2 votes. One I think is October and one in November, so.
Sounds about right.
I think that would be very powerful, and I think people would show up here to hear
Yeah,
them.
I think it's a good suggestion. Certainly. I did forget in the staff notes, though, we are going to provide transportation to the town meeting as well.
Awesome.
Both of them. Yep.
Awesome.
So we'll have more details in the October coordinator for that as well.
Where's that town meeting gonna be? Stonehill?
Oliver Ames?
Not at
Oh.
the high school.
Yeah.
At
in
the high
aud-
school?
auditorium.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Where will it be?
The auditorium at the high school.
Horrible parking there.
At the auditorium?
Yes.
Okay.
When all the kids are in school?
Yeah, yeah. It's at nighttime, so the kids aren't. But if the COA offers transportation, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Or would they run a shuttle back and forth to here? Or-
Yeah, we use our bands that we have outside.
Okay. There were no staff notes. Member notes, which we've already started with. I do have a question, and I know that the space here is limited for some of the things that we do. Have you ever considered going down to Parker Terrace and Elise Circle area where they have a hall that you could have different programs or different things going on during the day?
But there
Yeah.
again, parking isn't that great out and
Well,
back.
No, it isn't, but
It's another option.
it's still,
Yeah.
you still get a little bit more room than you have here. When you get,
It would
you've
also
been
be
here
accessible to those folks.
yeah,
If some of those folks might not have a car.
right. So, it doesn't have to be anything big, just, I don't know if they have, I don't even know if they have programs down there among their own people, like they have
I don't think they do anymore,
okay.
because they've used that supply, the one they use for the crafts.
Yeah,
That's an office in there now, I'm
Oh.
told, because I asked.
yeah, because I know a couple of years I coordinated a dance down there, a senior dance, and we used the hall, but I went down there the other day and it's like it's never being used, and it's decent size. I mean, you could get
Great
cribbage
suggestion.
games going, or
Yeah.
A lot of the seniors are going down to the Knights of Columbus, and they do have something down at Parker Terrace, I think. I'll have to ask.
yeah. But I mean,
They're going
yeah.
to bingo and playing poker on to a different area, because they don't allow them to do poker here anymore.
Oh,
They stopped
Or
them.
bingo.
They stopped.
no bingo?
No bingo.
No.
Because it's gambling or something?
Yeah, it's probably one of the reasons.
Okay.
so they could have
which
it
is no
down there.
fun.
Yeah, but I mean, it just, I go down there and it's like, you get a lot of people down there, and
Yeah.
People aren't interested down there anymore. The ones that are used to come up here,
yeah,
they're not doing stuff since COVID.
yeah.
Oh,
It's ever since COVID. They're afraid to get into groups of people, I understand.
That makes sense.
As I had 12 people in my class. I'm lucky if I have 2 now.
Ooh.
What's your class?
It's a weaving, Swedish weaving,
Oh, cool.
and whatever crafts people want to do.
And that's here?
That's here. It's on
Awesome.
Thursdays.
It's an awesome class.
Yeah, I bet. That's terrific.
I'm going back to when I was a kid, but it used to be bingo was illegal, and they used to do Beano,
Yeah,
which is the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness, they called it Beano.
They
I
called it
remember
Beano,
that.
and I'm going back to when I was a kid in Holbrook, and the church used to do Beano to raise money
very
because they
funny.
weren't allowed to do bingo.
Beano.
How they got around it that way.
yeah.
Beano, it's the same thing as bingo. They did it the same way.
Seriously?
Yes.
I never thought of bingo as being gambling. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's
Something
one
you-
reason. I think another
Yeah.
is it's more of like a philosophical thing of the department
Oh.
to steer away from it. But yeah, your point. Sorry,
Yeah.
Matt. I know I got on a tangent there, but your point's certainly well taken. I think with the amount of program we're doing, with the main hall being starting
Right.
to fill up, the next goal would be to fill programs in this room with sort of like
Yeah.
weekly or monthly special events. And if we're starting to bust at the seams and not using, or
Yeah.
excuse me, using the building and maxing it out, I think that would make sense to
Yeah.
consider what other options there are.
I sit there and I'm looking at your bingo.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got-
We
you
have
got-
things for
Yeah,
bingo.
you got right there,
Yeah,
you got
it's
the big
always
one,
there.
you got a smaller one over here, and it's like, you know, you
From
just-
experience, whenever an activity is paired with, there's going to be some snacks, more people come out. If
For
there's a-
snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free.
That's true, yeah. If they're,
Cheap pizza will bring them in.
you can do I don't know if you can do this after COVID, but like a cookie swap at holiday time, where people, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
All right. Are there any other member notes or anybody that wants to bring something up?
The only thing I can bring up is a lot of my friends are not coming because they have to sign that paper. And they didn't like it,
Sign what paper?
saying that if you have a group of people and something happens, the town is not responsible.
Oh, the liability
She's
forms.
referring to the waiver, participation waiver.
They don't want to come to mine because here we have a dull needle. I said, no, we still have to sign.
That's crazy.
No sharp needles.
Yeah.
You know, it's the world we're living in. It's so litigious.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, it's across the board with all the programs.
Yeah.
The pumpkin decorating program we have, we'll need kiddos to sign waivers. It's just the way it is.
Why is it that not all towns do it?
So that's a good question. I've had a lot of conversations with other recreation directors, council on aging directors. It's just the philosophy of the town council, and ours advises based on our context and our
And I've
situation to
talked
do it.
to, gone to West Bridgewater, and
Yeah.
there's people from everywhere down there. And they say they never heard of it.
Yeah.
I'm
A
sorry
lot
if
of
you
the
say
people from Easton are going to West Bridgewater.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not something I have the ability to
I know
to
that. I
negotiate
understand
about.
that.
It's a bummer.
It's the lawyers or
It's a
whatever
bummer.
it is for the town.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought to, because you're in contact with some of these other councils, maybe on a rotating basis, have pit Easton against West Bridgewater and Mansfield and Norton in some sort of game type situation, you know, a
That's
couple,
a
you know,
great
just
idea.
rotate it from town to town and,
See
you know,
what
you
they
got
all
the-
have.
No, no, just, you know, do a, like a Family Feud type thing. You get 5 people from Easton to form one team and 5 from West Bridgewater, and just have a friendly competition.
Or trivia.
Yeah, trivia,
Oh,
bocce.
that's a great idea.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I get too much time on my hands, I think.
That's terrific.
You have a future as a part-time program coordinator.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
little bit past my age group, but
I will certainly bring that
yeah,
up.
no, but it's just a thought because I belong to the West Bridgewater Lions now. I gave up on Easton, and you know that you were saying, Gene, they get a very active.
They do, very active.
And I'm not sure in some of the other towns, but you know, it's like, why not? You know, maybe you
Yeah.
can get some sort of different things going and more interest and
I think that's terrific.
yeah,
They are busy down there
Yeah.
all the time.
Pool resources.
yeah. It just plus it's well they get more room, as I mentioned to you.
Oh, it's a
as-
newer building.
Yeah,
that's
as I
why.
looked at the center school being going to be torn down, I'm sitting there going, Christ, you could do recreation in there. You could have council on aging and
It's
rooms.
my
and-
hope that, well, that if the Y takes it over, if that happens, that they will include and there will be space for
I've heard that they've just
They're not gonna do that.
they're not gonna do it.
Down in West Bridgewater, it's all seniors.
Hmm.
Nothing to do with recreation or community.
Yeah.
It's all seniors.
Yeah,
Nothing but seniors down there. And they have awful lot of
Yeah.
activities going on down there.
Sharon has a very robust council on aging. Senior center, I don't know what they call it.
yeah, I wanted to see if I can get involved in some of these different towns, get their newsletters sent to us, just to see some of the different programs that they run that, we might be able to do here.
Yeah,
So-
totally. So we have Shay, who's our administrative assistant up front. We have her on the receiving list for Mansfield, Sharon, one of the Bridgewaters. I want to maybe even say Foxborough.
How about Canton? You should see the coordinator that they have.
But,
Quite,
just- yeah.
quite a coordinator. A
Then I-
lot thicker than
Yeah.
us.
I took one of those Bridgewater Senior College courses last year, and it was in Plymouth. Their senior center is spectacular. It's like,
Yeah,
wow.
that's state of the art.
What was the class?
Oh, it was an art history class. I think it was the Renaissance to the Romantics, maybe. I don't know. It was.
But you liked it?
It was very interesting.
Well, if they get some of these new buildings done, like, what are they gonna do with the old police and fire station? Or is that gonna be considered, well, it's gonna cost too much to have fixed up, so we'll just tear it down and,
I don't know. But again, that was something that a lot
Yeah.
of discussion about it. And what came to my attention was that the conditions of those and some of the amount of lead and mold and stuff in those buildings that
Why couldn't they have meetings or something down at the Knights?
they're going to
On
be
106 down
Hmm.
there? Can't the town make some arrangements or something
for
to?
council on aging.
No, just
for-
to have some of the meetings or something down there. They've got that big
Yeah.
room there.
Yeah, they do.
so.
I don't think they got too much going on down there. There are buildings in
Yeah.
town that can be used.
Yeah,
We're lucky to get this one.
yeah,
I know for years they tried to get a COA. No, it all went to the schools. Back when I worked for the town, way back, I think the school had 40% of the budget. Now they get at least 80% of the budget, and the rest of the town gets the rest. So we could never
yeah.
have the money to get a senior center. They fought and fought. Finally, they got this built, and we thought that was great
Yeah.
back then.
Well,
But there weren't as many people in
No.
town either.
But-
You know,
all right, any other member notes? Take a motion for an adjournment?
first,
Second. Who second here?
hey, we accomplished quite a bit today. You're gonna be able to do all those notes and know what they all are,
If I can
Joe.
read my own handwriting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Do we have unanimous? I wasn't.
Oh, next scheduled meeting, I guess we're gonna go back to the first Thursday.
Works for me. That ends up being.
You know,
Seems that that's the way it normally was. I screwed everything all up by going on vacation. Sorry.
Where are we?
And it was damn hot up in Maine.
Ha.
Try
The
camping
fifth?
without any AC or a fan and
Oh.
it's 90 degrees.
That's what camping's all about.
I would never survive it.
I
So
love
is that
camping.
October 5th?
Staying in a tent?
That's what I
That looks
have.
like it, yep.
October 5th?
10 a.m. Anybody want Zoom?
No.
No. I know you would
Just a
like
little
the
joke.
Zoom.
Doesn't make a difference to me. I'm in the building either way.
Good, I get to go back to work and they got the Department of Revenue auditors
Ooh.
down there today.